Let's go racing! Welcome to this week's race news, where we'll be talking about the Absa Cape Epic, Crankworx over in New Zealand, downhill in Portugal, and the Western Cape cross country in the vineyards of South Africa. So, tons to talk about this week, and I'm not going to keep you waiting. So here it comes, everyone. The 2018 Absa Cape Epic got underway in Cape Town this weekend. The annual stage race is becoming an absolute classic. And if you didn't get a chance to watch my preview video of that, then make sure you take a look, because the event is awesome. The prologue of just 20 kilometers and a total of 600 meters of climbing was short but super tough. After the start amongst the imposing buildings of the University of Cape Town, riders were sent up the most unforgiving climbs of Table Mountain. First blood went to Swiss rider Nikolai Rohrbach and Austrian Daniel Geismeier, finishing in 45 minutes and 23 seconds. German Manuel Fumek and Brazilian Henrique Avancini took second, just 14 seconds back. In the women's race, it was World Cup leader Annika Langvad and her Absa rookie team colleague Kate Courtney from the US who took a strong win in 53 minutes 18 seconds, putting a full minute and 12 seconds into team spur of Ariane Luthi and Geeta Michaels. In the Masters, Team Absa WBR of George Hincapie and Christian van der Velde, no less, created the dream start for cycling fans by topping the table and a fine performance in the Masters. So the real racing has now begun, and after stage one, things have changed pretty dramatically in the GC. The Cannondale factory racing team of Manuel Fumek and Henrique Avancini have moved into first after a really strong ride to win the stage and take the GC overall at this early point in the race. The Investec Songo specialised crew of Jaroslav Kulavi and Howard Grotz now sit in second, 40 seconds back. Real drama from last year's victors though. Nino Schurter and Matthias Sternemann are back in 24th position, a huge 20 minutes back. Apparently Sternemann, suffering from a stomach bug illness, was real trouble for him in the race. It could be all over before it's begun for the Scott Sram team. Real shame. In the women's, the specialised pairing of Langvad and Courtney further broadened the gap to over 2 minutes from Team Spur, with Silverback KMC crew of Annie Last and Maurice Strauss moving up to third on the stage and GC respectively. In the Masters, reality hit home for Hincapie and van der Velde. They now sit on the edge of the top 10 overall in Masters GC after a 24th position in the stage one. The leaders now the strong Villiers 4-7 pairing of Massimo Di Batalis and Audrey Fojtik, in the lead now by over 6 minutes. Some huge names in that category though: Frischnecht, Brengens, Decker to name a few. Mixed doubles is led by Merida Argentina team of Augustina Apaza and Tessa Latoli by 4 minutes. The racing at Absa takes place throughout the week, so make sure you join me again next week for the roundup of who managed to conquer the Absa Cape Epic in 2018. Exciting stuff. Now, staying in South Africa for the second round of the Sram Western Cape XCO series in association with the Tygerberg Mountain Bike Club, all taking place in the Rebokskloof Pearl Valley Wine Estate. This event is a UCI Class 2 junior event, so juniors were able to earn UCI points and prize money. Banger. Victory in the junior men's was clinched by Jamie Penfold, finishing 2.5 minutes ahead of the competition. A South African 1-2-3 though, with his compatriots Keegan Botekoning and Mitchard Meets. The top 5 was rounded out by Swiss Silas Valolta and another South African, Leon Daniel Klassen, finishing at the hour mark. All 5 taking home cash prizes and UCI points. 2 junior women riders left the start gate to begin the battle for victory, and both on home turf. Shortly over an hour later, Mia de Villiers emerged victorious with a time of 1 hour 3 minutes 50 seconds, 4.5 minutes ahead of 17-year-old Hannah Moller in second place. Over in New Zealand, the Crankworx World Series is underway with the first round kicking off in Rotorua, and Kiwi Sam Blenkinsop has begun his campaign for King of Crankworx with an awesome winning ride in the Redwoods Downhill, beating Brooke McDonald and Mick Hanna, who managed to fit in one of his signature no-hand suicide jumps into the race run, of course. Blenkinsop then backed that result up with second place in the Giant Toa Enduro Enduro, finishing behind Keegan Wright and just ahead of Matt Walker. In the women's race, it was Casey Brown who will be tough to beat for Queen of Crankworx. A second in the downhill and a win in the Enduro is a strong start to her event. Looking forward to seeing Casey in the whip-off too. That girl's got some sick riding style. Via Veerbeek is hot on her heels though. Casey won't be getting it all her own way. Crankworx continues into the coming week and weekend, so check back with the Dirt Shed Show and next Monday's race news to find out what happened. Also, in racing news this week, we've seen Aaron Gwynn is out racing another relative low-key event. It must be great when one of the true geniuses of our sport turns up to your local downhill. Aaron didn't have it all his own way at the Bootleg Canyon Bike Park though, a mechanical causing him problems in the race run. Tracy Hanna has taken a knock to the head and due to the dangers of concussion, she's missing Crankworx Rotorua this year. A real shame for the event as she's a star of the scene. However, she's taken the wise choice to rest up and prepare well for the first World Cup race. Over in Portugal, the second round of the Portugal Downhill Cup was won by Vasco Beaker and the UK's Lucy Dries took first in the women's event. That's a great ride for her ahead of Margarida Bandeira. Now that pro racing is all well and good, but what about grassroots? I really want to know what you guys out there have been doing. Have you made it onto the podium? Send any pics, vids and results to racenews@gmbn.com to let us know. Thanks for watching this week and make sure you catch me again on the Dirt Shed Show this Friday where I will be updating you on the results of the Cape Epic and of course Crankworx. Stay with us here on GMBN now by clicking just there for our retro versus modern video and just there for our video on how to find fun lines. Click on the globe to subscribe and give me a thumbs up like if you like racing news. See you next week.